everyone, I'm Brianna Bazone, and today we're going to be working on solving linear equations with variables on both sides of the equal sign. So let's start with a review of the last lesson, which was combining like terms. So when we have an equation that looks like this, we have a bunch of stuff on one side, we want to get stuff together that are friends. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look. I have 3x. Is there anything else that has just a plain x with it? 7x. But be careful. A lot of students will just say, oh, negative 7x. It's actually minus 7x. Don't lose that. Don't lose that minus sign. So 3x minus 7x is minus 4x. And then look at the next term. I've got negative 5 and a positive 8. Put those together and you get positive 3. Once we do that, we're now at a two-step equation that we know how to solve. All right, so remember the whole idea with solving an equation, x wants to be alone. Right? So looking at this on that side of the equal sign, what moves first? The minus 4 or the 3, so we can isolate x, get x alone. Well, for x, they're attached. They're one term. They're BFFs. So their acquaintance, that other guy, is going to move first. So we're going to subtract 3. Why do we subtract 3? The opposite of plus 3. And whatever we do on one side, we have to do on the other. 3 minus 3 is 0. These cancel to 0. 27 minus 3 is 24 equals negative 4x. Then I'm going to look at my negative 4x. What do I do here? How do I get that alone? Well, eventually your BFF has to go home so you can go to sleep at the party. How do we separate them? Negative 4x means negative 4 times x. They're multiplying. The opposite of multiplying is dividing. Divide by negative 4. We get x equals negative 6. And we're done. Pause the video, try this one. So again, we need to combine like terms. So I have my 11x and my positive 7x. That gives me 18x. Now, does that minus 9, can that combine with anything? Now, some kids try to combine it over here, but you can't do that. They're on opposite sides of the equal sign. You can't cross the road. You're not, they're at two different parties, right? This is one party, and then they're across the street. So that can't happen. But X is tired, wants to go to bed. Who leaves your party first? Your acquaintances, the people who are not super attached to you. So we have to move that 9. Since it's minus 9, we do the opposite or the inverse. Add 9 to both sides. 18x equals negative 36. Last step, 18x means 18 times x. The opposite of multiplying is dividing. 18 divided by 18 is 1. So we actually get 1x. But we typically don't write 1x, we just write x. Equals, what we get here, negative 2. And we are done. So this was a review of combining like terms. Now, we're going to jump into solving when there are x's on both sides of the equations. So take a minute and write the problem down. Alright, so I'm going to draw my line. Now notice we have x's on both sides of the equation. They can't just combine together, they're separated. But they're friends, right? They both have x's. So we need to get them together. We do that through adding and subtracting. My general rule, I always tell my students, is move the smaller one. So, who's smaller, 3 or 5? 3 is smaller. So that 3, is it positive or negative? It's positive. Opposite of positive is negative. So I'm going to subtract 3x on both sides. Remember, 3x is one term, they're stuck together. 3x minus 3x is 0. That cancels out. I'm going to bring down my negative 8 equals 5x minus 3x is 2x. That x does not disappear, plus 2. Now it's something we know how to solve. We got to our 2-step. Subtract first, minus 2 minus 2. 2x equals negative 10. That's 0. And finally divide. X equals negative 5. So before we can solve for x, we have to get all the x's on the same side, and we do that through adding and subtracting. You can't divide over here. If you tried dividing, you would just get crazy answers and denominators and weird fractions. We don't want to do that. We need to move these together through adding and subtracting. Right? He walks out of his house and he walks across the street. All right, this one. Same idea. I really do like to move the smaller number because it avoids negatives. So look for your x's. I have my positive x here and my negative 6x here. We cannot combine them together, but who is smaller? That 6x is smaller, so that's what I'm going to move. 6 is negative. The opposite of subtracting is addition. So I'm going to add 6x to get those x's together. 11 equals x and 6x is 7x. Don't forget there's an invisible 1 in front. Plus 4. Then it's reverse order of operations. We want to add and subtract first. To get that x alone, we subtract 4. 7x equals 7. Divide by the coefficient. X equals 1. Alright, I want you to pause the video. Well, actually not pause the video. Let me do the first one and then you do the second one. So this is a special case. This is a very special case, actually. This is the one time when you don't move the smaller x. The problem is, don't write this down. If you subtract 2x on both sides, watch what happens. You cancel out, and then students do crazy math. Because what's 2x minus 2x? 0. Well, you can do it that way. It's weird and extra work. And a lot of students, they don't put a 0, they'll end up moving their equal sign over here, and just crazy math magic happens. That is not okay. So the one time where I don't move my only x, if the smallest x is already by itself, move the bigger x. 2x is alone. It's the only thing on this side of the equal sign. So think of it like this. You're at the movies, your friends are at their house. Are you going to walk all the way to your friend's house to then walk back to the movie theater? That's silly. So you're going to be like, 2x is like, no. I'm waiting here, you can come to me. 2x is already there, he's good, he's going to make his friend 6x come over. So 6x is the one that's going to move in this case. And again, I only do this if if an x is by itself. So 2x minus 6x is negative 4x equals negative 28. And divide to get your x by itself. X equals positive 7. I know it looks like it's not equal, but it is. So some teachers get mad about that. I don't mind, because I can see it's the line. All right, number 6, try that on your own. Again, this x is already on its own, so I'm going to move the 2x over. This 2x is already negative anyways, it's the smaller one. So the opposite of minus is plus. I'm going to add 2x to both sides. 11 equals 3x. Uh-oh. Did we do something wrong? Did we? No, we didn't. It's okay. We are going to get a fraction. It's not a big deal. Now in middle school, a lot of teachers will have you write that as a mixed number. As a high school teacher, I'm completely happy with this. Don't turn it into a weird repeating decimal. That's a perfectly wonderful answer. It's exact. I don't really like mixed numbers as a high school teacher. I like improper fractions as long as it's simplified. So we're good. That's it. So this next problem, we're going to combine our both sides and our combining like terms. So write the problem down. So take a minute and just combine like terms on each side. Don't go crazy with it. Just take a minute, pause the video, and just combine like terms. So on the left side of my equal sign, I can put stuff together over here. I have 3x and I have positive 5x. If I put those together, I get 8x. Can that negative 17 go with anything? No, because remember, only this side. We can't combine stuff across the line. No crossing the line. So bringing it down. On this other side, so I'll just agree. The 3x only is 3x, so it's going to stay. But I have my positive 18 and my negative 2. Put those together, 16 minus 3x. So again, you can only combine stuff on the same side. So now to solve, we're going to move our smaller x. Who's smaller? We have 8x and minus 3x. Minus 3 is smaller, opposite of minus is plus. So plus 3x on both sides. 11x minus 17 equals 16. Add and subtract first. $11x, those cancel, equals 33. Last step, divide by your coefficient, and x equals 3. These are manageable. Just think about your steps. Combine like terms first. Move your smaller x. Add and subtract, divide by your coefficient. Okay. All right, last problem. It's similar to this one. Pause the video, and I want you to try the whole thing on your own. Worst case scenario, you get it wrong, you erase it, and you try again. Alright, so I'm going to combine my like terms. Just draw my line, separate. Let's see, over here I have negative 19x and negative 5x. Don't lose those negatives. So same sign add, so negative 24x. And then I have my positive 13 and my positive 5, which gives me positive 18x. Oops, positive 18, not x. On the right side, I've got a 22 and a positive 14. Put those to, everything's positive, I put those together, I get 36. And then negative x plus 7x is positive 6x. So I combine like terms, Now we're just gonna follow our steps. Move my smaller x. Who's smallest? I have 6 and I have negative 24. So I'm gonna move the negative 24, positive 24x, positive 24x, 18 equals 36 plus 30x. Now do our adding and subtracting on the same side that x is. 36 is over here, we gotta move him. Negative 36 on both sides. 30x equals negative 18. Divide by your coefficient. X equals, now we can simplify that fraction. What divides into 18 and 30? You can do 3 or you can do 6. You can do 6. So negative 3 over 5. And that's my answer. So this is solving equations with variables on both sides of the equal sign. I hope this helped. Have a great day.